Hi everyone, welcome back. Welcome to my channel. My name is Christina. If you're new, if you're not, welcome back. In today's video we are doing none other than a 24-hour readathon, which I've done once, and I'm doing it the exact same like I did last time, where I'm not doing it over over 24 hours time. Like, I'm not doing it 24 hours in one day, I'm not doing it 12 hours one day, 12 hours the next day. I know loads of people do it so many different ways. I'm just doing it where there's a timer that's 24 hours every time I read. I'll play the timer every time I'm not reading. The timer gets paused. I work. I can't sit down for a day and read. My 2 days off that I get a week, because obviously I do work full time, 2 days that I get off a week, I am doing content stuff. They're not together. So the best way for me to do this is have a timer and then pause it and play it when I'm reading, when I'm not reading. So I'm getting the timer ready on my phone because I need to start this. I was meant to start this video quite a while ago, but so many things have happened very quickly. Some not so good things, like just a little thing. I ordered a parcel where I ordered a workout set that I ordered once. It was too small, so I sent it back. I'm sending it back. I ordered the bigger size. The fabric's completely different. It's not the same quality, so sending that back, getting my money back for that. And also Lost in Pages, which is a bookish event happening in Brighton, announced that Imani Eru is going to be there. I've never run so fast by a ticket in my life. I was already debating on going because one, it's Brighton and I wanted an excuse to go back, and two, Dumble Club Clo is going to be there, and loads of like small vendors, like bookish merch places are going to be there that I wanted to go see. So I was already debating on getting a ticket just for that alone. But the fact that Imani Eru is going to be there, I never ran so fast to get a VIP ticket. It's not funny. Anyway, so I do know what book we're going to start off with because I did a poll on my Instagram this morning, which basically just said, what book should I read first? And 3 options were Silver Sweet by Kristen Ritchie, Daybreak by Autumn Woods, and Ruinous Ends by Ivy Marie. And obviously the one that everyone chose was Daybreak by Autumn Woods. We're going to start this video off with reading this. I'm honestly hoping to read all 3 of those books in this video and more. So if you want to stick around, you're more than welcome to. I'm going to start the timer in just a second. I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited to read Daybreak because I loved Nightshade and I can't wait to read this. So, oh, I forgot. I got this from my local indie and there were signed book baits, so I made sure to grab one of them. I don't know. Anyway, we have our timer here. I'm going to start the timer and let's go. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. It is time to read. Okay, I have a bit of a reading update. With 21 hours, 33 minutes and 30 seconds left on the timer. So I thought I'd give an update. I was going to do an update at the 2-hour mark, but I was getting some stuff done while listening to the audiobook. So obviously we ended up starting with Daybreak. This follows directly on from the events of Nightshade. If you've not read Nightshade, what are you doing? Go read Nightshade. It's so good. But this is like, it's almost like a mystery academia, kind of dark academia romance. I love it, but I am now pretty much halfway through the book. I think it says I'm at 49%, so I'm on page 197. So chapter 14, I'm a good chunk of the way through this book. I have been reading it and listening to it and I'm loving it. I knew I was gonna love this book, but I'm loving it. And I'm gonna sit and read some more tonight. I obviously can't really say anything because it is a sequel, but it's so good. It's so good. I love them and I'm very intrigued to see where we keep going with the storyline that is in this book. So I have a bit of a reading update. We now have exactly 20 hours left on the timer, and so we've done 4 hours, and this morning I've sat and finished Daybreak by Autumn Woods. This is obviously the second book in the Sarah Song University series. First book is Nightshade. Absolutely love Nightshade 4.5, and Daybreak was none other than also a 4.5 star. I absolutely love this. I loved the way the story continued, the way our characters grew, them growing, as well as like just the way it was. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. 4.5. I really did enjoy this, and obviously it only took us 4 hours to read, so 10 out of 10, no notes, love it. So now I was thinking about maybe carrying on with like the new releases that I've not got around to, but I thought why not, let's do a quick one that we want to do, which is on my August TBR, which is A Composition of Scars by Hazel S. Wilkes. This is a novella that is in between book 1 and book 2 of the Cadence of the Fallen series. So I'm very excited to read this. This is what, 236 pages, so it's not super long, but obviously it is, compared to a normal paperback size, it's quite different like size wise, and there's quite a lot of words on the pages, but I think I'm gonna really enjoy this. I really enjoyed the first book in the series, which is Requiem for Fallen Stars, and I just haven't got around to continuing the series, and I read that back in June. So I want to at least read this month, so then hopefully next month, or maybe also in this video, we will pick up book 2 in the series. But yeah, I think let's go for A Composition of Scars by Hazel S. Wilkes. I'm pretty sure this is the backstory for our male main character in the series, our love interest, so very excited to get a bit more of him and his backstory, because I know it's a sad one, so let's go. Okay, we now have 16 hours and 1 minute and 39 seconds left on the timer, and I know I've not spoken, but I have some reading updates. So first of all, I thought we'd talk about A Composition of Scars. This is a novella which is in between book 1 and book 2 of the Cadence of the Fallen series, and I've just sat and done the whole thing. It's just over 200 pages. It's not super long. It's very quick. To be completely honest with you, it is very quick. But I did not really enjoy this. For the majority of this book, he's meant to be 14, and in my head he just did not act like a 14-year-old. He was very much acting like 17, 18, and it just completely took me out of it, because I'm like, he's not acting like a teenager, he's acting like a child, like an adult, and I don't, obviously it's meant to be our main character's backstory, which I feel like obviously is important, but I feel like I didn't need a whole novella. I feel like maybe if we learn maybe in book 2 we learn a bit more, I don't really know, but I feel like I kind of already knew that his backstory was darker, but I don't feel like I needed a novella for it. I don't know. I think this is probably gonna be like a 3-star, probably actually lower than that, I'm being generous, probably like a 2-star, but I'm still going to continue the series because I really loved book 1. I just don't think I needed the novella personally for me to read this book. And then throughout the day, I've been listening to Catabasis, or Catabasis, whatever you want to call it, by R.F. Kuang. This is obviously the parody edition, but I've been listening to it on audiobook. I think I'm mid chapter 8, but I'm going to finish chapter 8 tonight because I just want to finish that off, but by then I'll be on page 127. So I am actually really enjoying this so far. I'm invested in what's going to happen and how this story is going to end. Obviously I've been listening to it here and there, so I've been like getting things done. So I think it says I currently have, I've been listening to it on 2.2 speed, and that will probably speed up as I keep going, but it says I have 6 hours and 31 minutes left as of right now. I have about half of chapter 8 left, which is said it's going to take me about 6 minutes to finish chapter 8. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this so far. And if you don't know what this book is about, so in this book we are following our main girl, Alice Law, who's a grad student who's only ever had one goal: to become the brightest mind in the field of the analytic magic, but the only person who can make her dream come true is dead and inconveniently in hell, and Alice, along with her biggest rival Peter, is going after him. But hell is not as the philosophers claim. Its rules are upside down, and if she's going to get out of there alive, she and Peter will have to work together. That's if they can agree on anything. Will they triumph or kill each other trying? I'm very much enjoying this so far, and I've read a couple books by R.F. Kuang. I've read Babel, which I really enjoyed, and I've done The Poppy War, The Dragon Republic, and I DNF'd The Burning God. Honestly, I just could not get into that series. I audiobooked all of the books, obviously up to the part that I DNF'd it, and I just still wasn't in the series, and I was like, by halfway through book 3 I should be invested in this series, and I just wasn't. So yeah, but I really enjoyed Babel by her, so I was very excited to pick this up, and I've been putting it off for so long, but I'm really enjoying it so far, and I'm very excited to continue audiobooking this. I think I'm going to solely audiobook this book during this challenge. So that is technically, we're now one book down, one novella down, so that's technically 2 books, and then we are like, I don't know, 15-20% maybe through catabasis. So yeah, the next book I'm going to read is Silver Sweet. She is thick, but I love Kristen McRitchie, if you don't know, and this book is their newest release. It came out like a couple of weeks ago, not even a couple of weeks ago, like last week, and this book is 659 pages, so it's going to take me a while to get through, but I know I'm going to really enjoy it, and I really want to read this. So this is going to be our next read. I'm very excited to read Tom's story. If you don't know, this series is the Cobalt Empire. So in the Kristen Becker universe, you have the Addicted Cannabis series, which is 10 books, the Bad Reputation Duet, which is 2 books, and then you have the Leica series, which is 13, and then you have this series, which is the Cobalt Empire, which there are currently 2 books out. Book 3 is coming out at the end of the year, and then there's obviously more in the series that are coming out next year. But yeah, if you don't know, get to know Kristen McRitchie, auto-buy authors for me. I will forever read their books. And yeah, I'm very excited to start Tom's story. Very intrigued to read another male romance from them. Obviously I have read the Leica series and everything, so I've read Max Moff and Farrow, and I love them, and I've read, is it Jack and Olivera? And I really enjoyed their story as well. I don't know the last time I spoke to you. I think it may have been Thursday night, maybe Friday. No, I think it was Thursday night. It's currently Sunday afternoon. I have not been doing a lot of reading the past couple of days. Today I've definitely tried to, just in the sense of like, I was sat and I was just doing some stuff on my computer, and I was listening to Catabasis, and I don't have too much of it left now. I'm going to try and finish off Catabasis today. But I guess you're all wondering what we are on the timer. So basically by now I wanted to have like 4 hours left, and I have 12 hours 3 minutes and 33 seconds left on the timer. So I am like, in my brain I'm significantly behind of where I wanted to be, but as long as I roughly do 4 hours Monday, 4 hours Tuesday, and 4 hours Wednesday, roughly, that will still be good, and I'll be able to get this video up on time. If not, I'm going to end up filming something on Thursday that can go up on Thursday. I guess you guys will see. I'm really going to try. I think today, like I said, I want to try and finish the audiobook for Catabasis, which it says I currently have 2 hours and 15 minutes left of. So that will take us down to under 10 hours. Well, we'll be on like 9 hours and like 50 something minutes, but that will bring it down to single-digit hours at least, which makes me feel a lot better. I might sit and play some like Disney Dreamlight Valley or something, because that, for me, that game is so mindless, and I can just focus on that, put the fan on, put my headphones on, try and get the last 2 hours of this audiobook done. Right now it's like 4, it's like 20 past 4, Sunday evening. Like I said, I'm going to try and finish this at least, and then depending on how I feel later, I'll probably try and get quite a bit into Silver Sweet. I've read the first 2 chapters, which I've really enjoyed. Obviously I didn't expect to be quite as drained from work the past couple of days than I have been, because I'm not normally, but I feel like because also in the UK it's been so incredibly hot the past couple of days. It was like 35 or 36 on Thursday. When I last spoke to you on Friday it was 32, and yesterday it was like 25, 26. Yesterday was a lot cooler, but my mum and that were away, So they come back yesterday. So obviously last night after work I was just like hanging out with them, and then I was also like trying to get some other stuff done. I'm currently on page 378, which is chapter 25. So I am really enjoying this so far. So I know I did speak about what this book is about, but I'm really enjoying our characters Alice and Peter, and I'm enjoying the way that this story is. We've just got a bit more information on Peter's background, which was nice. Quite sad, but nice to have, and that we're kind of starting to unravel things that are happening. They've still obviously, the whole point, I think I said in the synopsis, it says that they are going to go find the philosopher, I think, yeah, or something. They're going to go find someone that they need, and they've not found him yet. So I mean, I'm gonna keep listening. I am enjoying it. I have 9 hours 50 minutes and 58 seconds left on the timer, so we have finally got it under 10 hours, so feeling good about that. But I've just finished Catabasis. I really enjoyed this audiobook. I thought it was really fun. I definitely enjoyed it. I don't know whether maybe I would have enjoyed the book more if I did read it. I feel like some books I'm feeling like that recently. If I audiobook it, I'm not loving it as much as if I would read it. But then there's some that, like, if I'm reading it, I want to audiobook it and then I love it. So I don't know. But I did really enjoy this. I think I'm going to probably say like a 3.75 because yeah, did really enjoy it. I personally I've never found that I really connect to R.F. Kuang's characters, and I do struggle with that quite a bit. So but I really did enjoy the plot and the storyline of this book, and I would definitely recommend. But also obviously R.F. Kuang is very wordy, and sometimes I feel like when I read or audiobook her books, sometimes the words get lost on me and I'm like, I don't know what you've just said. But we have finally finished it, and we are under 10 hours on the timer. I don't know how much I'll read for tonight because I've literally just sat and finished the last like hour of the audiobook now. But I do want to read a little bit of Silver Sweet tonight. But that is the third book of this 24 hours done, which feels really good. And we have just under half of it left pretty much, so maybe we'll do another 3 books. I don't know. I definitely want to finish Silver Sweet off. I don't know whether I'm going to start another audiobook. I might end up starting something, I'm not sure. Okay, so I have a little bit of a reading update. I don't know the last time I spoke to you, I think maybe I had like 9 hours, I want to say. I don't know, but we now have 7 hours 29 minutes and 53 seconds left on the timer, and I have been reading Silver Sweet by Kristen McCurry. I'm really enjoying this so far. So if you don't know what this series is, so this is the Cobalt Empire. So if you've heard about Kristen McCurry, you've probably heard about the Addicted Cannabis series, which is 10 books, and then they have since written a duet, which is a couple that is mentioned in that series, and then you also have the Like Us series, which is 13 books, and now we've started the Cobalt Empire, which is currently 2. Book 3 comes out this year, and so on. So this is Silver Sweet. This is a rockstar romance. This is Tom and Phoenix's story, and I'm really enjoying it so far. Obviously we know Tom and we love Tom from the other series. So the Like Us series follows the kids from the Addicted series, and so does this series. So the Like Us focuses on Max Moffat and Farrow, Jane and Thatcher, Jack and Olivera, Luna and Donnelly, and then Sully, Banks and Akara. That is what that series focuses on. It's technically the Billionaires and Bodyguards series because technically Jack and Olivera are not related to the family, but I love that series so much. And so in that we get 2 Hale kids. We get 1 Cobalt kid and 1 Meadows kid, and this series is following the other Cobalt kids. Yeah, so then you have the Cobalts, which you have Rose and Connor, which are the parents, which is their books from the Addicted series, and then you have their children. So you have Jane's book, who is in, her books are in the Like Us series, and then you have all the other kids, which I think we're going to get all of their books during this Cobalt Empire series, which you have Charlie, Beckett, Elliot, Tom, Ben and Audrey. And so far we've had Ben's book, and I love Ben's book. It's probably in my top 5 of Christina Carici books, which is crazy. And then this is Tom's book, and the next book we're getting is Audrey's book. So eventually we are going to get all of them. I'm loving this. So yeah, this is a Rockstar romance, and they are bandmates, they're in the same band, they've just come together, and we're going from there, and I'm very, very much enjoying this so far. I don't really want to say too much, because obviously if you don't know the Addicted, Calais, Sister, that whole universe, you're probably not going to understand too much, but you don't need to read the other books to get that. But I'm loving seeing obviously the other characters. Like, we've had some bits with Luna and Rose and Connor, and yeah, I'm just loving it so far. We see quite a bit of Ben and Harriet, and I love them, so that makes me so, so happy. If this doesn't show you how much I love Ben, we just got told that he scored the winning goal at his first hockey game. Okay, I thought I'd give you a reading update tonight, considering I've done a significant amount of reading in the past, today. I've done a significant amount of reading today. I'm planning to do a little bit more, not a lot more. We now have 5 hours, 5 minutes and 4 seconds left on the timer. So we've done quite a bit, and it definitely shows based on our book. So here we are on page 361, which is chapter 37. So I think I have about 300 pages left now. But I'm really, really enjoying this book. I'm having the best time, and I knew I was gonna. Obviously I said this morning, even seeing things about the other characters that I mentioned gets me emotional, because I generally do love this series and this world so incredibly much. It's a little bit difficult for me to be chill about this book. It says on my Kindle, it says I have 4 hours. It says it's going to take me 4 hours and 43 minutes left to finish this book, and this morning our time difference from the book and the timer was about 8 minutes. Somehow I've got that up to 20 minutes. So we'll see how much time we end up having left on the timer after we finish this. Okay, it's the next morning, and we now have, I've read for about an hour this morning. Ended up reading for not a long time, but a little bit longer than I thought I would last night. But we now have 3 hours, 27 minutes and 23 seconds left on the timer, which is crazy. So if I was to read from now until the timer would be over, I'd be half an hour late for work. So what I'm gonna do, I have about an hour till I normally start getting ready for work. So I'm gonna read for an hour, and then I'll probably end up being able to read a little bit more, maybe another half hour, maybe an hour to be honest, before I go to work. And then when I come home from work, I am gonna sit and finish it off. So let me give you a bit of a reading update, because we have definitely got quite a bit through Silver Sweet. So now I am on chapter 49, which is page 483. I am loving this book. I mean, I've said this at every turn. I love anything Christina Carici write. I will forever read their work, because I just love it so incredibly much. It has such a deep place in my heart that I feel like they are definitely going to be authors I read for the rest of my life. And I will continue to come back and reread these books again and again, because I just love them so incredibly much. And this is no different. I feel like with Christina Carici as well, I feel like even if the book's not 5-star, I feel so incredibly attached to all the characters in all the books anyway, that every book that they've written could be a 5-star, but I do try and not put every book that I read by them as a 5-star. Oh, it's gonna make me cry again. Why do I always feel when it's gonna make me cry? And it's not even a sad book. It's just making me cry because I love them too much. I thought I'd hop on and chat to you guys while I put my little colour cards away because I've just obviously opened a new pack because I finished Silver Sweet this morning. So we now have an hour and 23 minutes left on the timer. So we definitely, the original time that it said that we were going to have left was 8 minutes. Thought I'd come on and have a little yap. Obviously I said a lot of my thoughts earlier because I like to chat to you guys when I do update you. So my current thoughts, I absolutely loved this book. I loved our main characters. I loved the way it went. I generally do not have a single bad word to say about this book. What I was gonna say is I really liked, so throughout the book we do get quite a bit of Tom struggling with, he struggles a lot with how his family, with how his family is because he loves his family so much, but he struggles quite a bit through the book with how much he wants to be there for his family, and he worries, and he is perfectionist also over his album and how he wants everything to go right. And we see through the book, we see him struggle with balancing him, trying to be there for his family and everything like that. And they through this book they did a really good way of basically just giving us that, but giving us insights onto how he is as a person and how that makes him feel and everything like that. And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoy when books have certain mental health aspects in them because I find that it's so much better for me. I learn a lot from books with how, if people have certain mental health issues and things like that, I feel like I learn a lot about how I would deal with them or try and help people with them. I feel like you do learn a lot of that from books, and that's it's one of the many reasons I love books so much. Tom's book, we have about his struggles with trying to always be there for everyone, and he wants to be there for everyone, and he worries that sometimes if he's putting his music ahead of everyone, and he very much, like, he thought that if him and Phoenix were to get together, it would ruin everything. And I feel like I really love seeing that in books and having people's, that I don't know, yeah, I do just love it. So obviously I ended up finishing off this morning and I loved it. I think I'm settling on a 4.75, maybe a 4.5, but honestly I'm leaning more towards that 4.75 rating because I mean, it's so difficult for me to, I was saying earlier in the video, but it's difficult for me to honestly give Kristen Picrucci any lower than a 4-star. It's very difficult for me not to just sit here and give them all 5 stars because I just love their books so incredibly much and I'm so connected to all of the characters that's just how it is. So I don't really know what I want to read for the last hour and 20 minutes that we have. I was thinking maybe we could do something that's on my TBR for the month, or maybe I just do whatever I kind of feel like. I only have 3 books left on my August TBR. I have A Rivalry of Hearts, Dawn Season and Mistborn, and honestly I don't think I'm really feeling like picking up any of them right now. I kind of want something, I don't know whether I want a fantasy or a romance, and I think if I want a fantasy I want something a bit more high stakes, and I feel like they're probably going to take me a little bit to get into before said high stakes, so I don't really know. Last night I was kind of thinking maybe we start a reread for the last hour and 20 minutes or whatever time we would have left, because there's quite a few books coming out in September that I really want to read, and I think I do want to refresh my memory on some of them. Happy not doing that. If you are joining, do you like... Okay, a little bit of an odd angle because I'm sat, let me take these off, hold on. But I have decided to literally do a complete 180 on what I said I was going to do, and I've ended up starting A Ballad for the Broken. This is the second book in the Cadence of the Fallen, so obviously I read the novella within this 24 hours, which is A Composition of Scars, and I just was like, oh, I kind of really want to start book 2. So I've only read the prologue so far, and it took me like 20 minutes. I now have literally, it says an hour and an hour and 41 seconds left on the timer. Well, I will be reading this. I'm going to read this for an hour tonight, and hopefully we can get into this. But one really, really fun thing about the book is on all the chapter headings, it has fan art. So this is like the main guy, and then this is like one of the guys in the book as well. It is the end of the video. We did 24 hours of reading. It took me a little bit longer than I thought. Honestly, I thought I'd probably get it done in like a week. It's been like a week and a half, which, I mean, it's not the worst, but it's took me a little bit longer than I thought it would. But nevertheless, we ended up finishing 4 books, and then we started another one, so feeling really, really good about that. So first of all, I'll talk a little bit about A Ballad for the Broken. Obviously, I said yesterday that I was starting this, and I didn't end up getting too far. Honestly, it was just taking me so much longer to read this book than I thought it would. Just like I was trying to, after reading A Composition of Scars and that being so far back in the past and that being a character's backstory, getting into this and like trying to remember where we were at the end of book 1 that I read in June was a little bit more difficult than I thought it would be. But I ended up getting to chapter 5, which is page 43. So yeah, it took me a bit longer, but I don't mind too much. I'm really enjoying this, hoping to continue it. Let's talk about the 4 books that we did end up getting to. So the first one we read was Daybreak by Autumn Woods. This was such a good read, and this is such a good duology for what, it's just such a good duology. So this is the second book in the Sorry Song University series, and it's so freaking good. Daybreak continues the story after Nightshade, and I honestly don't think this book could have been any better than I thought it would be. And yeah, honestly amazing. 4.5, 4.75, I'm not too sure, but really enjoyed that. Then we read A Composition of Scars by Hazel S. Wilkes. So this is a novella after book 1 and in between book 1 and 2, and I don't have a lot to say about this book. I didn't love it, I'm not gonna lie to you. In my head, he was 14 in this for like the majority of this, and in my head he sounded like he was like 18, 19 that as he was talking, and I'm like, obviously his backstory is very sad, and I did enjoy the point of this book, but I don't think, for me, I didn't feel it was executed right, and I thought that he felt a lot older than he was. It hasn't put me off from continuing the series, so I mean, take that as you will. And then we read Catabasis by R.F. Kuang. I did enjoy this book. I thought I'd enjoy it a lot more than I did. This was a 3.75, so I really enjoyed the plot of this book, and I thought it was a really good like magic system kind of way. I've never really read a book that they go to hell and it's like a different magic system in hell and kind of vibe. I did really enjoy this, but I just didn't connect to the characters for me. And personally, sometimes I find R.F. Kuang's writing a little bit too wordy, and I know like that is her writing style. She literally says she is such a like, she's so incredibly smart, but sometimes some of the words and things that she says, I'm like, too much. And then the last book that we ended up reading was Silver Sweet by Krista McRitchie. This is probably one of my favourite books I read in this time frame. This was a 4.75. This is Tom and Phoenix's story. If you don't know, the Addicted Cannabis universe is one of my favourite universes of all time, and it is my favourite universe of all time. And I said a lot about how much I love Kristen McRitchie. I mean, you can see the shelf behind me here, and I absolutely loved this book, no different than the rest of them, and I cannot wait for Loathe Love to come out in November. But I absolutely loved this, and this was like a 4.75 vibe, and I really enjoyed this. And then obviously we started A Ballad for the Broken by Hazel S. Wilkes, and we only got 43 pages in, but I was enjoying it nevertheless. So they are the 4 books that we read and the book that we started within the 24 hours. I feel like we did pretty well. I feel like this is also how much I read last time. I might be wrong on that, but I feel like last time I also read 4 books and started another one. I might be wrong, but nevertheless, I had the best time. We had some very good reads, and also we had like 2 new releases, and we had Catabasis, which I've been putting off since I think last August. I think this was Fairy's August book last year. Yes. So this has been being put off for over a year now. So yeah. Anyway, I'm really happy that we got to all the ones we did. I really hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.